It was warm afternoon when your flight landed in Seoul after 4 years in Australia. You stepped out of the airport, pulling your suitcase behind you. The breeze felt different, the air smelled familiar. You were finally back. When a voice called out loudly, you turned and saw your sister Eri standing with a soft smile. You ran to her and hugged her tightly. Uni, you cried, wrapping your arms around her. I missed you so much. I miss you too, baby girl, she said, hugging you back just as tight. You pulled away and looked at her face closely. Why is your face not glowing, huh? You look so dull, Eri. You're getting married in 4 days. Come on, cheer up. Eri gave a small smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. I'm just tired, she mumbled. Let's go home. Mom and Dad are waiting for you. You noticed something was off, but you didn't press more. The driver took your luggage and placed it in the car's trunk. You both got into the car and started the ride home. As the car moved through the city, you looked out the window with amazement. Wow, Seoul has changed so much, you said with excitement. So many new buildings and shops. It looks more beautiful now. But Eri stayed quiet. Her eyes were fixed outside, lost in thought. You turned to her and gently shook her arm. Eri, are you okay? You asked softly. You have been acting weird since I arrived. She quickly blinked and looked at you. I was just thinking about the wedding, she replied. You reached out and touched her forehead. You don't have a fever, you said with a light laugh. Are you nervous? A little, she nodded. What's his name again? I forget to ask. Eri looked at you and said one word that shook your world. Jungkook. Your heart dropped. Jungkook, the name echoed in your head like a warning bell. You knew a Jungkook, a very well known from your past. Your high school bully, tall, cold, rude, merciless. He used to tease you every single day. He made your school life a nightmare. You moved to Australia right after graduation just to get away from everything, mostly from him. But it couldn't be the same Jungkook, right? There were many Jungkooks in Korea. It had to be someone else. You kept quiet, hoping your guess was wrong. Soon the car stopped in front of your house. The place looked the same, warm, cozy, familiar. Home, you whispered with a smile. You both stepped out of the car. Your mom and dad rushed outside. My baby, your mom cried as she pulled you into a hug. You have become so thin. Did you not eat anything, Australia? I miss your food, mom. You laughed. I'm starving. Your dad also hugged you tightly. My little girl is finally back. We missed you. I missed you both, too, you said, holding back your tears. Inside the house, the dining table was already full of favorite dishes: Korean kimchi stew, japchae, fried dumplings, and Chinese noodles. Wow, you made all this for me? You said, eyes wide. Of course, your mom said proudly. Now go freshen up and come eat. You went to your room, changed into a comfortable dress, and came back to the dining area. The four of you sat down together. You noticed how your mom and dad looked excited, but Eri seemed quiet again. So Ryan, your dad said, as he poured water into your glass, you're just in time for the wedding preparations. You nodded. Yes, I'm happy to help, but I still can't believe Eri is getting married. Your mom smiled. She has grown up now. You will see. Her groom is very responsible and comes from a good family. You glanced at Eri. She just smiled faintly and picked at her food. You looked down at your plate and tried to smile. But deep down your heart was restless. Jungkook, was it really him? You prayed it wasn't, but somehow your heart knew. The nightmare from your past was coming back. That night, you and Eri were lying side by side on the soft bed, both staring up at the ceiling fan that spun slowly above. The room was quiet except for the soft ticking of the clock on the wall. You both had eaten well, and now, under the cozy blanket, the two sisters finally. Eri broke the silence. Why do you believe in love? You turned your head slightly towards her and smiled a little. I don't know. I never found anyone interesting enough. So maybe no. She nodded slowly. What if you do fall in love one day? What will you do then? He let out a soft laugh. If I truly love someone and I feel he's the right person for me, I'll go to any extent for him. I won't give up easily. Ari turned her head to you. What kind of boy do you like? You thought for a moment. He should be calm, not someone who fights with others all the time. I really hate that kind of behavior. She stayed quiet for a few seconds, then said softly, yeah, I get that. You both stared at the ceiling again, lost in your own thoughts. Slowly, your eyes grew heavier, and both of you drifted into sleep without saying anything more. The next morning, you woke up early, changed into a simple t-shirt and shorts, and went to brush your teeth. With the toothbrush still in your mouth, you walked towards the living room lazily. That's when you froze. Right there, standing beside your sister Eri was him, the man you knew, the man from your past. John Jungkook. Your eyes widened, your breath caught in your throat. You turned on your heel immediately and ran back down the hallway, straight into the downstairs guest bedroom and into the attached bathroom. Your heart was racing. You splashed cold water on your face and looked at yourself in the mirror. Why is he here? You whispered. Your voice was shaking. Your mind began to spin with memories you had buried long ago. High school. Jungkook was your senior in high school, 3 years older than you, popular, confident, too loud, too wild, and always teasing people. You didn't mind his teasing that much. You just ignored him, but others, especially sensitive students, used to get hurt by his words. Still, most teachers turned a blind eye because he had good grades and a charming smile when he wanted. But there was one thing about him that you couldn't stand. He fought a lot with students from other classes, boys from other schools, even with his own friends. You hated violence and you hated that he never. Then came the worst day. You had a boyfriend once, just for a month, a sweet boy from your class. You liked him, he liked you, but one day he told, let's break up. I can't handle Jungkook. You won't let us be together. You were confused until you saw Jungkook punch your boyfriend in the face right in front of the library. You ran to Jungkook, your eyes filled with tears. Why did you do that? You shouted. I hate him. He started to say, but you didn't let him finish. I don't care, you screamed. You ruined everything. I hate you. You ran away without listening to his side. From that day you decided you hate John Jungkook. You stared at your reflection in the mirror now. It's him. It's really him, you whispered. You quickly changed into decent pants and went back to the living room. Jungkook was still there, sitting on the sofa, scrolling on his phone. He looked up when you entered. Ryan? He asked, eyebrows raised in shock. You? You nodded slowly. Yeah, I'm Mary's sister. He stood up looking confused. What? Wait, Mary is your sister? You nodded again, keeping your face calm. Yes. Where is Harry? She's on a call, he said. You sat down on a chair, keeping distant. Silence filled the room for a few minutes. Then he asked, how are your parents? You replied, they went outside. He nodded. You asked coldly, still fighting like in high school? He looked down for a second and then looked into your eyes. No, I have changed completely now. You crossed your arms. That's good. Take care of Yuri. He paused and asked softly, "What about you?" You replied immediately, "I can take care of myself." At that moment, Eri walked in, still holding her phone. "Oh, why did you meet Jungkook?" she asked happily. You both looked at each other and quickly acted normal. Jungkook smiled politely. "Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Jungkook." You nodded with a fake smile. "Nice to meet you too." I didn't notice anything strange. "Good. I'll go check on mom," she said and walked away. After some more awkward silence, Jungkook said, "I should go now." You simply nodded. He left the house without another word. I walked straight to Eri's room where she was folding some clothes. "Eri, do you like Jungkook?" you asked her. She looked up with a smile. "Yes, he's a good man." You stared at her, surprised by her answer. "You really think so?" She nodded. "He takes care of his family. He's mature now. He's serious about me. Why?" You just shook your head. "Nothing." You left the room with a basket of clothes. You sat on the edge of the bed, still in shock. You looked out the window and clenched your fist. "If Jungkook ever hurts my sister, I swear I'll kill him." The deep down your heart felt heavy. Because you knew this wasn't just about your sister anymore. This was about the past, and now the past had returned, stronger than ever. It was the night before the wedding. The house was supposed to be filled with music, laughter, and happiness. But instead, it was filled with silence, shock, and fear. You were sitting on the couch between your mom and dad, staring at the letter in your hands. Your hands were shaking, your parents' faces were pale, their eyes wide with panic. The letter was from your sister, Eri. "I'm sorry, I love someone else. I don't want this marriage. One, thank you for making me realize that I should go to any extent to get the person I love. Please forgive me, don't look for me, Eri." You couldn't even breathe properly. The letter slipped from your hands and fell to the floor. Your mom stood up angrily. "What is this? What do we do now? The wedding is tomorrow." Your dad looked at you with furious eyes. "We took money from their family. We promised them our daughter for their son. Now what do we do? Tell them. What will everyone say? The whole neighborhood knows." You stayed silent, still trying to understand what had just happened. Your mom shouted, "Say something, Ryan." "I don't know anything," you whispered. "She didn't tell me anything." Your dad ran his fingers through his hair. "If they found out she ran away, it will destroy our name, our respect. What will Jungkook's family say?" Then suddenly he looked at you, his eyes full of presence. "Ryan, you marry him." You blinked at him. "What? No, are you crazy?" "Why not?" your mom said loudly. "You're her sister. If you marry Jungkook, it will save everything. No one will know the truth." You stood up from the sofa, your voice raising. "I said no. I don't want to marry Jungkook." "You have to," your dad shouted. "We raised you, fed you, educated you. You can't even do this one thing for the family." Your mom grabbed your hand. "Please, Vine, don't destroy us. Don't make us beg. If this marriage doesn't happen, we'll lose everything." They started to cry and beg. You stood frozen, your heart was pounding. You didn't like Jungkook. In fact, you hated him. This was so wrong. But your parents didn't stop. They used every emotional word, every tear, every trick. Finally, your voice cracked as you whispered, "Fine, I will do it." Next morning, you stood in front of Jungkook at the wedding altar. You wore the bridal dress, your makeup done beautifully, your hands decorated with. But your face showed no smile, only seriousness. Jungkook, however, smiled softly. He looked at you gently, like he was happy. The priest read the final words. You and Jungkook were now husband and wife. Applause echoed, but inside you were breaking. The car started moving slowly towards Jungkook's house. Sat beside him, looking out the window silently. Jungkook turned to you with a smile. How are you feeling? He asked softly. You didn't reply. After a pause, he said, I'm really happy to be married to you. You turned to him with a cold expression, but I'm not. He blinked. What? I hate you, Jungkook. You said clearly. I always hated you, and I still do. He looked confused and shocked. What are you saying? Your parents said you agreed to this marriage willingly. They lied. They forced me. Don't think I will ever love you back. This marriage means nothing to me. Jungkook sat quietly, staring at you with wide eyes. He didn't know what to say. The rest of the drive was silent. The car stopped in front of a big, beautiful house, decorated with soft pink and white flowers. The whole entrance was glowing with warm lights and rose petals covering the floor like a carpet. You stepped out of the car, still quiet. Jungkook followed behind you, his face now serious and confused. At the front door, his parents were waiting. Welcome, my daughter, Jungkook's mom said with a big smile. His dad smiled warmly. Come in, man. This is your new home now. You bowed slightly and entered, your feet stepping on the rose petals. The house was bright and full of flowers. Staff and relatives clapped and threw petals in the air. You didn't expect this much love and care. Treat her like a princess, Jungkook, his mom said with a serious voice. Never hurt her, not even by mistake. Jungkook nodded, lowering his eyes. I won't, mom. You looked at his mother, who came and hugged you. You are part of our family now. We'll protect you always, she whispered. You were surprised. Their warmth was not fake, it felt real. Still, you gave a fake smile and nodded politely. Thank you, you said quietly. But inside your heart, everything was still cold. You didn't love Jungkook. You didn't want this marriage. And no matter how many rose petals they threw, your heart was still stuck in the pain of being forced to marry your bully. You entered the bedroom slowly, still wearing the heavy wedding gown. Your body felt tired, but your heart was heavier than anything. Jungkook was sitting quietly on the edge of the bed, his face serious but soft. You stood near the mirror and asked, how did you agree to marry me when you were supposed to marry my sister? Jungkook opened his mouth to say something, but you quickly raised your hand. No, I don't want to hear it. You said coldly, where is the bathroom? He pointed to the left side of the room, that way. You turned and walked off, muttering, I hate this wedding gown. Jungkook sat on the bed silently, his shoulders slouched. He looked down at his hands. Your words, I hate you, were still echoing in his mind. He wasn't angry, just hurt. He knew it was all a misunderstanding, but he wanted a chance to explain, a chance to show the real him. After some time, you came out wearing a comfortable t-shirt and pajama pants. Your face looked tired but calm. I will sleep on the couch, Jungkook said, standing up. Since we are living with my parents, we can't take separate rooms, but at least this. You looked at him and nodded. Yes, I don't want to hurt your parents. Just like this is fine. He gave a small smile and laid down on the couch. You turned off the lights and lay on the bed, your back facing him. Everything was still so strange. You were now a married woman, married to him. Before you could fall asleep, Jungkook whispered, I will clear everything, Wan, I promise. He woke up, freshened up quickly, and walked into the living room. It was empty, no sound, no people. You frowned. Where is everyone? You walked to the kitchen and stopped there in surprise. Jungkook was there, standing in front of the stove, flipping pancakes. Good morning, he said with a small smile. Morning, you replied softly. Mom and Dad went on a wedding vacation, he said while still cooking. They won't come back for a week. You raised an eyebrow. Nice. Now we can live in separate rooms. He glanced at you but didn't say anything. I'm making breakfast. You looked around. Where is the maid? She took sick leave. You folded your arms. Okay, I wanted your handmade food anyways. It's your wish, he said calmly. I still made it for both of us. You looked at the food. Golden brown pancakes, a side of eggs and toast. It smelled delicious. Why are you acting like a gentleman? You asked. I changed wine, he said softly. I'm not the person I was in school. You gave a dry chuckle. Right. You turned and left the kitchen. Before leaving for work, Jungkook said, if you feel hungry, eat. I cook well. He left with his office bag and walked out the door. You sat on the dining chair angrily. Why is he acting so calm, so soft? But your stomach growled. The food looked too good. You sighed and finally took a bite. It was delicious, damn it. You mumbled, chewing the pancake. Why is he good at this? A few weeks passed like this. You still didn't like Jungkook, but deep down your anger had started to melt a little. One day you went to the mall to buy some skincare items. That's when you saw someone familiar. Van, a voice called. You turned and saw John, your high school ex-boyfriend, the one who broke up with you. John, you said wide eyes. It's been years. You both exchanged greetings, then he said with a smile, I heard you married Jungkook, that's great. He finally got you. You blinked. What? He loves you a lot. Even in school, he always kept an eye on you, John said casually. Your eyes narrowed. Wait, what do you mean? That day you said Jungkook broke us up? He nodded. Yeah, he hit me, but only because I was cheating on you. You stared at him completely shocked. I was seeing another girl at that time, John admitted, scratching back of his neck. Jungkook found out and told me to stop, but I didn't listen, so he punched me. I deserved it honestly, and I lied to you about the breakup. Sorry about that. You stood frozen. John smiled. He's not a bad guy, Ryan. You should trust him. He walked away, leaving you speechless. You drove home back quickly, your hands shaking on the steering wheel. As soon as you entered the house, you ran upstairs and opened the bedroom door. Jungkook was standing on the balcony sipping coffee. You marched to him. I met John today. He turned to you slowly. Did he say sorry? You nodded. Yes, he did. Then you looked at him straight. But tell me something, Jungkook. Why did you agree to marry Eri? When you loved me, Jungkook looked surprised but calm. "4 days before the wedding, my parents told me everything, that I was going to marry your sister. I was shocked. The next morning I came to your house. I was going to talk to your parents to stop this marriage. You listened, eyes filling with tears. But that day they were not there. Then I saw you and got to know your sister is Eri. When you went to the bathroom, I heard Eri talking on the phone. She was saying she would run away with her boyfriend, so I thought, good, the wedding will stop on its own." He looked down. But the next morning my parents told me that you agreed to marry me. I didn't understand anything, but I couldn't let the wedding break in front of so many people, so I said yes. Your tears rolled down your cheeks. Why didn't you explain earlier? I wanted to, but you didn't want to hear it. You broke down and cried hard. I hated you for years, and it was all a lie. I'm so sorry, Jungkook. I was so wrong. I gently walked to you and wiped your tears. Let's not look at the past anymore. Let's start our journey from here, fresh. You looked up at him and nodded. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me, Jungkook. He pulled you into a warm hug. You hugged him tightly, feeling safe for the first time. Jungkook's parents returned a few days later and saw the change in both of you. You were laughing, helping Jungkook in the kitchen, and even sitting close to him on the couch. They smiled at each other in the living room. His mom whispered, "They're so cute now." His dad nodded. "Yes, I think we will hear good news soon, like baby news." His mom giggled. You and Jungkook were still unaware of their sweet little plan. But for now, everything has changed. Your hatred was gone. Love was finally blooming in your heart, and your story with Jungkook had just begun. Thank you for watching.